Yeah, it has started. Okay. Yeah, very good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. I am Gaurav Tripathi, and I am Sergeant of Arm for the day for the club. I would like to welcome all guest members, our club president, and all the guests to the 56th Toastmasters session of Redise's Soundbites. Today we have an external guest with us, Toastmaster Chitij. He is from Walk the Talk Goldman Sachs Toastmasters Club. So welcome Chitij to the Redis Soundbites.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before proceeding further, I would like to tell few ground rules of this session. So first rule is please keep your mobile phones or any sound making device in the silent mode. Rule 2 is please do not talk about sex, religion and politics in your speeches. And third rule is please do not leave the meeting in between, but if you have to, please do it at the time of applause. As we all know, in our life, if we want to achieve something, we have to find our mission. And that mission is kind of a focal point around which all of our activities will revolve, and they will lead us towards that mission. Similarly, our session and our club is also having a mission, and that mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members uh, can develop their communication skills, leadership skills, and which will result in their personal growth and a greater self-confidence. With this mission, I would like to proceed further with today's session, and I would like to ask one question to everyone. Can you please tell me what is the most desirable quality of a human being? You can answer or you can put your answer in the chat box also. Anyone can tell the answer.
Being tall.
Yeah.
Being human?
Yeah, being human. Actually, I'm wearing that t-shirt today.
Humanity.
Yeah, humanity. Yeah. So we have all these answers and all are correct. Like these are the qualities which are required if you want to succeed in life. And these all play some sort of important role in our life. But I want to focus on one very important quality. And that quality is courage. There is a famous quote about courage, and what it says: courage is the first of human being quality, because it is a quality which guarantees all others. As you see, if we want to proceed in our life, or if we want to do something which is not traditional, we have to face many arguments from the people, and people will say, okay, this is not good, this is not good, you should not take that path. But if you want to follow your dream, you have to show the courage and you have to be with it. Similarly, this quality is required like whenever you will feel yourself in a certain situation, a situation which was not planned for you, but now you have uh, taken that step, like, okay, I will do it. So that kind of thing again needs a courage. And our today's session is all about that. We started from being different and we found some sudden changes, and now we are with our today's agenda. And let me just share my screen. So our today's agenda is it visible to everyone?
No.
Okay, let me just share it again. Is it visible now? Yeah.
Yes.
So our today's agenda is all about the mind-body problem. Another interesting topic, which is totally different. And I appreciate the all role players who came on time and took this opportunity, shown their, like they have showed their courage, like they can do this role in a very less span of time. So I would like to appreciate them once. Now to moving forward, I would like to call the next speaker, who is very dynamic. She is a movie buff. She likes watching all sort of movies again and again, and she is very motivating person also. Whenever like you can find, she will motivate or encourage you to go beyond your limits, show your courage, and do which other people think is like difficult. So I would like to welcome our club president, Chitra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. Before coming to this session, I was really worried that I've not prepared a presidential address for today. And if I speak something that little bit, whatever I've prepared will not gel with the theme of the day. But interestingly, I didn't know that the theme of the day had changed. So that's a good thing, I guess. So, in fact, Gaurav, the quote that you mentioned, right, the courage being a quality that leads to all other virtues by Aristotle, is something just this morning I was listening to a speech by somebody and they had quoted this, and I had Googled the same to read about it. So it's kind of a nice, what's the word? I don't know. Anyways, it's nice to hear the same thing during the session. And thank you for the introduction, Gaurav. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and dear guests. Welcome to the 56th session of Soundbites Club. It's nice to see a lot of names and some faces, and I would like all of you to come again and meet during these meetings. We even get to see some of your family members and like budding Toastmasters. We encourage all of them to come on board and hopefully enjoy the session. Remember last session, I had spoken about how public speaking is the #1 thing people are afraid of. In fact, there's a term called glossophobia, which means fear of public speaking. And it affects more than 75% of the population, it seems. While researching this, I came across this quote by none other than Mark Twain, which says there are only 2 types of speakers in the world, the nervous ones and the liars. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, of course. So he kind of makes this a very decisive kind of proposition that if you are a nervous speaker, if you're a speaker, you are nervous, otherwise you're lying, right? So tying back to what Gaurav spoke about having courage, I think it's not to say that literally every speaker who comes on the stage is nervous all the time, but it does kind of get to the heart of most people who speak on stages or deliver any public address deal with, right? If you may not be shaking or sweating or being terrified on the stage. It can simply be like an excitement in front of an audience that you know or you don't know, and embracing that unknown while giving a speech, the reaction of the crowd, the things that you may or may not say. And there's that mortifying fear of it all going wrong at the same time, right? I think what Mark Twain wants to say is that it is not only it's not only a normal and a healthy feeling, it is a feeling that is intrinsic to the activity of public speaking itself and should be embraced rather than feared and used as a reason to not speak in public, right? I think people who have prepared speeches, who are going to come on board for table topics, have to keep this in mind, that any great speaker in the world, no matter how many times he speaks, goes through this, and it is not new. It's been going on for ages, right? With that, I would like to welcome on the stage somebody who is the TMOD of the day from, I think, less than 12 hours today. He boldly embraced and has shown a lot of courage to not only agreeing to play this role, but also come up with a new theme, and is somebody who is, how do I say, open to taking any roles in Toastmasters. I would like to welcome on stage Toastmaster Adarsh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chitra, for that wonderful introduction. So, as you would guess, I have not prepared much, but I have something prepared. So, our theme today revolves around one guy. His name, Karl Popper. One day, he went to meet his friend. His friend was the more celebrated and renowned philosopher, Bertrand Russell. At Russell's college, in his dormitory, he went to meet him. Like Toastmasters write speeches one after the other. Philosophers write philosophical papers. Karl Popper noticed on Russell's desk that he had written many pages after pages of manuscript, and there were no corrections in any of them. Now, Karl Popper compared that to his own writing, in which there were so many errors and so many corrections. And he realized that what he was doing, Karl Popper, was some trial and error kind of a writing, and mostly following some random fluctuation of ideas in his head. And then he would edit them so that it would actually fit with all the other ideas that he was writing. Now, Karl Popper was born on 28th of July 1902, and he was actually a teacher by profession, and he was doing philosophy on the side. Now, eventually, he turned out to be such a good philosopher that he was respected in a lot of circles. So much so that he was actually called to give the first Darwinian lecture at a Darwinian college. Now, generally, there are a lot of people like Darwin scholars who dedicate their entire life to study about Darwin and his theories. So this was a very big recognition for his talent. Now, Karl Popper gave this speech on November 8, 1977, and what I'm going to quote today are really excerpts from that speech, which I've taken, which I thought were interesting. Although it's a bit dated, I felt the content was interesting. So now the above story that I told you, sorry, not above, because I'm reading from the script. The story that I told you is directly more or less from that script. Now, speaking of corrections, it is time to call upon the general evaluator of the day. But before that, let me tell you the overall agenda today. So we have two prepared speeches. We have Balaji giving his L3 P1 speech, sorry, L1 P3 speech, and we have Sudhindra giving his L2 P2 speech, which is a repetition of his previous speech for evaluation. So after that, we have the table topics session, and then we would have the evaluation followed by the voting. So it will be the regular agenda more or less. Now coming to the general evaluator of the day. So our general evaluator of the day is Toastmaster Spurti, and she's a really energetic speaker. And let's say if I was listening to someone saying Karl Popper was born on so-and-so date, I would be like, yeah, whatever. But our general evaluator of the day, Spurti, she would be hearing, oh, 28th of July, that's also the day which is Jyoti and Preeti's birthday. And she would also remember Karl Popper's birthday for the rest of her life. Now, please welcome the human calendar of our group, General Evaluator Spurti, to the stage.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for the excellent intro, Adarsh. And another reason why I would remember 28th of July is because I do know a lot of birthdays in July, and though not many people are aware, one of them is mine. And it also happens to be the day I joined Redisys. And I think that's too much info, and I'll move on. So as a general evaluator, it's my duty to evaluate the entire session in general, especially with respect to the flow and content of the session. To help me achieve this, I have a team with me, so which is generally known as the TAC team, which is the timer, R counter, and the grammarian. So I would first like to call upon Toastmaster Garvit to explain his role as a timer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Spurti. So my role as a timer is to monitor time during the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. At the end of the meeting, I will report the time of each participant. So this will let you know if you delivered your presentation within the allotted time frame. Now I'll list down the timings for each component. We have prepared speeches, which are for 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5 minutes, I will show the green light. At the 6th minute, I will show the yellow light. And at the 7th minute, I will show the red light. For evaluations, we have time allotted of 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will show the green light. At 2.5 minutes, I will show the yellow light. And at 3 minutes, I will show the red light. For table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will show the green light. At 1.5 minutes, I will show the yellow light. And 2 minutes, I will show the red light. So for the light, I will probably show it on my phone, and I will report back the tabulations to you once called upon. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Garvit. I would now like to introduce Toastmaster Mastan as the R counter. Mastan, could you please explain your role?
Thank you, Toastmaster Spurti. Yeah, hi, everyone. Good afternoon. As a counter, my role is to note and keep track of words and sounds used as a crunch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks during the meeting. The use of inappropriate interjunctions such as and, well, but, so, like, you know, as well as sounds like will be met with an audible click. I'll be noting down all those things, and at the end of the meeting, I'll be reporting my report when I call upon the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mastan. The grammarian of the day is Toastmaster Megha. Megha, could you please explain your role?
Thank you, Toastmasters Purti. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role as a grammarian is to pay attention to good use of English and provide constructive feedback to the improvements. So I'll be introducing the word of the day. Word of the day is apprehend. Apprehend meaning is anticipate with dread or anxiety. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Megha. As Toastmaster others mentioned, we have two speeches today. So I'd like to explain introduce the respective evaluators as well. Toastmaster Libin, who would be evaluating Toastmaster Balaji's speech. Libin, can you please explain the intent of Balaji's speech?
Good afternoon, everyone. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review the basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. So most of us would have already gone through this or already given a speech. The speech should not be a presentation paper, but it should be a speech. That is the purpose. Thank you. Over to you, general evaluate.
Thank you, Toastmaster Libin. Second speaker is Toastmaster Sudhindra, who will be evaluated by Toastmaster Kshitij. Toastmaster Kshitij, can you please explain the purpose of Sudhindra's speech?
Toastmaster Sudhindra today is attempting his L1P2 second speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech, take in some feedback, and improve upon that feedback in the next speech. So this is his second speech, and the feedback that he'll be improving upon was that the energy level dropped down in the middle during the last speech, and there could have been more emphasizements during certain parts. So I'll be on the lookout for those, as well as some general evaluation along with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij. So by the end of the meeting, along with my tag team, I'll be presenting my report. Back to you, Toastmaster Rajesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Spurti. So the reason that Karl Popper quotes his story about visiting Bertrand Russell is not to show off who he was friends with when he went to college. One thing one would notice looking at Bertrand Russell is that he was such a genius that he could create such complicated philosophical papers flawlessly. But what is actually happening behind the scenes is that Bertrand's brain has become so exceptionally adept at natural selection of good ideas. Now, what he was doing was he was discarding those ideas that didn't fit even before writing them down. Now, this was the natural selection, one of the things that Karl Popper wanted to talk about in that speech. So what appears to others like a creation, it was really a roundabout mechanism of selection. And he draws this as an example to explain how natural selection works as per Darwin's theory. Now, since he was also not a petty person like you and me, he had something humble to say as well. He said, Although natural selection has destroyed the proof for the miraculous specific intervention of a creator in your special life, it still has left us with the marvel of the creativeness of the universe, of life, and of human mind. It does not remove from the picture the universe of science that the science paints, the marvel of creativity, nor does it remove the marvel of freedom, the freedom to create, the freedom of choosing our own ends and our own purposes. Now, this is how he described the role of natural selection. Now, before he goes on and talks a little more about mind-body problem, it's time for our first speech of the day. So today's speaker is Balaji, and his friends have given him the nickname of Bronze Voice. So he is good at bringing friends group or people whom he knows in different areas together. So I would say he's a very good future VP of membership candidate at Toastmasters. So please welcome our first speaker of the day, Balaji. How much peace do you have? How much peace do you have, Balaji?
Thanks for the often nice introduction, Toastmaster Adarsh.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters. I practiced to myself in front of the laptop camera for this speech. Guess what? I was mostly seeing my belly only. So I decided to give the speech sitting, and I strongly believe that it is better for every one of us. My research topic for this speech is peace. Peace, belly, belly, peace. When you connect these two words, what comes to your mind? What comes to my mind at least is the Kung Fu Panda animation movie. In the Kung Fu Panda animation movie, part 2, in the opening scene, Master Chifu will be trying to attain the inner peace by chanting this word kept on. Inner peace, inner peace, inner peace. As if just by chanting the word, you will get the inner peace. Wait, what? Hold on. We don't get inner peace just by chanting it. Sorry to tell you this, my friends. Yes, you cannot attain the inner peace just by chanting it. Then how can one? I continued my research on the topic speech, and I cited some topics like what is peace? What is inner peace? How to attain the inner peace? What are the benefits of inner peace? As most of you can anticipate, I turned on to our own friend, like our President Chitra has told, to the Google. It just dumped me with a lot of results in a split second. I choose to see our own Sadhguru's video on these topics. How many of you know the one and only Sadhguru Jaki Vasudev here? Good, lot of hands are rising. If you don't, I recommend go and please watch his videos. You, especially before the night sleep, you will get a good idea to chew on your mind, or the least good night sleep. For continuous 2 days, I tried to listen to his speeches. I got a very nice sleep. I didn't give up. I woke up after the couple of days. I continued my research. I had this strong urge not to repeat just what in internet people are saying about these topics, the peace, inner peace, how to attain it, and what are the benefits of it. I was strongly motivated. Just let's not reflect what others are saying. Let's do our research a little further and come up with something which Google itself cannot answer just simply like that. So I continued my search. I stumbled upon the question, which when I entered into the Google, I got very random results, no coordinated, organized results like what you normally see it. And the question is, how to measure your inner peace? Yes, my friends, that is my topic today. How to measure your inner peace. That's what I'm going to reveal it. If you do not know about how to measure inner peace, please don't feel bad. Today is after all your lucky day. I'm going to present the answer. But before presenting that answer, I want you people to put into a situation so that you can understand the concept even better. Consider yourself in a car along with our hero guy who is driving the car in just like a Hebbal flyover or a Karapuram or a Silk Board or whichever you rate personally as the most congested area in the Bangalore, which is pretty much everywhere. that guy driving, all of a sudden he went in a speed and almost going to hit the car in front of him and stopped. The car in front of you, the person comes out of the car, comes near to your car with all the good words in his mouth, uttering, showing his mother tongue to the English, all the good words, which you can just like listen, even though you're inside the car, you can listen what the word he's saying it. All are nice, good words. In this situation, let's see 3 different people. How do they react to the situation? The first guy, the tag of war guy, he also start abusing, like let's see who wins the tag of war. The situation, I don't want to talk further. Anyway, the traffic is going to be stuck for another 30 minutes. You can hear all the nice things and you can also pick up some of the words. The second guy is the quiet guy. He is like, you say whatever you want. I am the sun. You are like a barking dog to the sun. Whatever you say doesn't affect me. I am Shilmadi. Like a sun guy. He comparing himself to the sun and to the other guy to the dog. The third guy, I call him as the Mr. Charming guy. He suddenly shows his reaction into the face, telling that I'm sorry. And even opens his mouth to say that I'm sorry and gives a sweet warm smile and exchanges a couple of words and makes that another person also to know that, okay, the situation is well within the control. Nobody hit our car. It's all well and good. Let's clear the traffic and move on. Now tell me, friends, you were in the car riding with all these 3 persons. In your opinion, who has attained the inner peace? The person 1, the tag of war guy, the person 2, who compared himself to the sun, the person 3, the charming guy. Any answers? Any guesses?
Person 3.
Person 3. Before going who is the person, I would like to reiterate what Buddha has said. Buddha once said, the inner peace begins the moment you do not react to the external forces or the external person. If I go by that logic, it's person 2 who compared himself to the sun, right? The person 2, he didn't react to the person who was shouting to him, be it anger, like a person 1, be it nice feeling as a courtesy for the person 2. But our mind is keep on saying, is it really the person 2? Is it Buddha is correct or we are correct? Before start pulling the Buddha's legs into that, let's closely look at what Buddha has said again. The inner peace begins. The keyword here is the begins. Once you do not react to the external forces and events. So our second guy is just in the beginning stage of the inner peace attainment. Whereas who actually started comparing himself to the sun. Actually, the original guy who attained the inner peace is the person 3, who started radiating just like the sun. He is raised to everybody around him. He is so overwhelming with the inner peace. He started raying it out to the neighborhood around him, to everybody. That's correct, my friends. The spreading of the peace is called outer peace. The outer peace is the measuring tape. The outer peace is the measuring tape to measure one's inner peace or to self-evaluate like how much you have attained it. In the end note, I would like to quote one item. Master Chifu said, if you have attained the inner peace, you can do anything in the world which is possible. Wisely. Just as a additional note to that, how to measure your inner peace, Balaji has said it nicely. Keep that on mind. Have a good day, folks. And thanks for this opportunity and stage back to others. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Balaji. I think that speech was it was energizing and quite peaceful to listen to at the same time. I think I realize now I'm only at the beginning of attaining peace, so there's a long way to go for me. So moving on, before we move to the next speech, there are a couple of things that Karl Popper mentioned in that speech. So before we can talk about consciousness, he said that we humans are, unlike animals, self-programmed. So the programming that we have within us, that's really our what's within our DNA, although I've written here as DNS for some reason, is composed of 2 parts. So the stuff inside DNS can be considered to have like when it comes to behavior, there are two parts. So one is the closed behavioral program that is there in all of us, and the other one is the open behavioral program that's also there in all of us. Closed behavioral program is the reason why we all have so many similarities, like why we have 2 eyes and 2 ears, all of us. So this is what has come to us as part of the fixed part of the DNA. Now, coming to the open behavioral program, which is the important one when to explain consciousness, he says it is the one where it is not written already down in hard-coded values. It is not something that is prescribed as this is the steps of this behavior, but it actually leaves a few alternatives open, certain choices open. So this is what allows us to evolve more. So this is another component that we all have, again, to different varying extent, and that is what makes us also different at the same time. So after that, he starts talking about free will and so on, and it's all so cool. So I'm not going to talk about that, but what he talks about next is how it is connected to the emergence of consciousness in human beings. Now, before we start talking about that, we will get to our next speech of the day. So our next speaker is Sudhindra. Sudhindra is a jovial person. We've always seen him with good temperament, and some people say that he has a quite uncanny resemblance to Sachin Tendulkar. So I think with that, I would like to call up on stage our second speaker of the day, Sudhindra, Random Forest, Sudhindra.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Adarsh. Just give me a minute while I set my setup up. All right. All right. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Do you know what is the definition of insanity? Well, I'll give you the answer, but have you heard this question? Does it sound familiar? Well, it is one of the most famous opening statements of our beloved Radicis India MD Nitesh Varshney. You find him starting his address with this question. Then he follows it up with an answer. He says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Right? Studies have proved that the easiest method to stop being insane is to start learning to learn from mistakes. Now, how does that work? With that, let us try to understand what does learning from mistake means. There are two schools of thoughts. One is Albert Einstein. He says, a person who has never done a mistake in his life hasn't tried anything new. That's like a scientist approach, you know. He's encouraging people to make mistakes and learn from them. The other school of thought is from our Vishnugupta Chanakya. He says, learn from mistakes of others. Life is too short to try and do all the mistakes yourself. But they're kind of interlinked. To explain it better, let me take this example of a famous machine learning algorithm called random forest. Now, random forest is an algorithm which is fed with some initial inputs they call as learning vectors and a desired output. This algorithm takes all of these inputs into account, applies this algorithm, attempts to predict the output. And certainly it will fall short. The delta between the actual and the expected is fed back to its input vectors, and the algorithm repeats to take the actual closer towards the desired. Now, when it comes to mistakes, I would classify anything and everything that can be taught as a learning from others' mistakes. These which can be fed as an input vector to a random forest. When you apply these learnings, attempt to solve a problem, the mistakes you do, they are the learnings from your mistakes. Toastmasters Level 1 Project 2 resembles this idea very much. It encourages people to try, make mistakes. So I found this whole idea resembling, connecting each other. Right? So let me explain some more relevance to a Toastmasters journey. How does it matter? Every Toastmaster starts with a set of profound rules, the rules that are there in a rule book. What does this rule book say? It says a speech should have a captivating beginning, a meaningful middle, and an impactful end. Right? It is said that a speaker has max first 30 seconds to capture his audience attention. Once he has it, it is even more difficult and important to hold on to it by engaging his audience into a meaningful discussion, something that everyone connects to. When it's time to let go, he should let them go with a takeaway or two. Well, all of that within 7 minutes. What else this rule says? This rule says, hold a powerful force that makes you feel confident, and a word delivered confidently is sure to reach your audience. What else? What else this rule book says? This rule book says, try to establish an eye contact with your audience. It's a way of you acknowledging your audience and saying thank you for sparing time to listen to you and to connect with you. What else in this rule book? Well, it says use a voice as a tool to modulate, to express your emotions as best as you can. Okay, fine. What else? Well, there are many here, but there are some blank pages too. These are the blank pages which every Toastmaster wants to fill with the learnings from his mistake. Right? So let us come back to the random forest. So he has some rule books, some learned through his previous speeches. He feeds all of them and presents his speech. Now what happens is he might fall short of the desired outcome. Now it is onus on every one of the audience to provide a valuable feedback which he can feed it back to his random forest and try to attempt to move closer to a desired outcome. Otherwise, he will be stuck in an infinite loop of insanity. Right? And giving feedback is nothing to be apprehended about. Right? So, feedback is so crucial, right? I hope all of you understand that it is so crucial for your fellow Toastmasters to move forward and give a better speech on speech. So with that, I would like to ask all of you to take a pledge today. Let us take a pledge to give a constructive feedback, no matter what is your gender, age, or level in your pathway is. You provide a feedback to each and every speaker, each and every role player in a session to the best of your capabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhindra. I think that was a very inspirational speech, and also it was like Black Lives Matter kind of a pose. So I think you engaged a lot of us with your speech today about feedback and the importance of it. Now, before we move on to the table topic session, a couple of other things that Karl Popper mentioned I would like to talk about. So when he talked about the open behavioral program, so why should that be used in favor, or why should that come into prominence? So given an environment where there are challenges, so natural selection would favor those organisms that would try out, in some way or the other, some kind of possible movements before they actually adopt them, in a way, so to speak, that they would actually try to simulate them either through their mind or through thinking that they would actually be doing some kind of a trial and error kind of a behavior. And obviously any animal that would have this kind of an ability would have a greater chances of survival, especially when there is actually selection pressure that is coming due to the environment. So what it's like saying a Toastmaster of the day would come prepared for a speech because he would run the simulation in his head that he should look stupid and looking at a script and reading. But the ability to adapt, it comes through running various simulations before actually enacting it out. So you need to evaluate the consequences of pain or fear versus what it is that you're going to get by actually emulating in real that particular behavior. So this is how he says that those humans who favored conscious choices, they survived and they propagated their genes more than the ones who did not make such conscious choices. For example, you could think of Toastmasters like a sandbox where you kind of run your simulation, where you can kind of come here and kind of act out or simulate your fears of being on stage, and that will help you to kind of evolve as a person when you actually go out and enact these behaviors that you're learning here in the real world. So that was kind of my take on it. But yeah, so that's what he was talking about when he was talking about the connection between the emergence of consciousness and natural selection and the open behavioral program. So now to take this session forward, for the table topic session, we have Toastmaster Suhas here, and I've had the benefit of saying he's called the Emeraj of Redis so many times now. I think there's some kind of a script there. Everybody just shares this every time Suhas is appearing on. Suhas is a very cool person, and he's a Modi fan, and he's also known for his loud laugh. This is how his friends describe it. He's known for his laugh, which can bring down mountains. Now, I think we can see that probably as the table topic session go on. So I would like to now welcome Toastmaster Suhas onto the stage to take us through the table topic session.
Hey, thank you, Adarsh, and thank you, everybody. Okay, is my voice audible? First, mandatory checks. Hello, check 1, 2, 3. Yes. Adarsh, you're on mute.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good that I joined the session today. Maybe a lot of
You're not on mute, but you're not talking yet.
Subhas?
Hello?
There's no time limit for a table topic.
Let me roam around. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loud and better.
Okay. I was roaming around, so I finally settled for a place. Okay. Good that I joined the session today. A lot of new words: outer peace, open behavioral, closed behavioral, insanity, humanity. Karl Popper. I should find that guy. I have seriously got very curious about that guy now. He's been teaching us a lot. So, okay, let's bit lighten up the mood. Then I've got my, so others told the tall people tall are going to be successful in life. I got somebody who is of my size to say that even I'll be comparing to be successful in life. So, okay, who is going first for the table topic? Who's going to come first? Or should I call out the name? Yeah, how do I share the screen here? That's the problem.
Using the share screen.
Yeah. Thanks, Balaji. You enlightened me. Okay. Shall I call out names or?
Okay, I'll go.
Hi, I didn't.
Hi, Chitra.
Chitra. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Chitra. Okay, Chitra, you're able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So in the morning, you wake up and you find that you're Donald Duck. What would you do?
Oh. Okay. This is a really funny joke that Chandler says in Friends. At least I thought it was funny. Is that how Donald Duck never wears pants, but when he comes out of the shower, he's always wearing a towel. Anyways. So having said that, so something that I've always found fascinating about Donald Duck, besides the fact that children love Donald Duck, as a child I myself liked it a lot, and they're just so cute, right? And he's a seaman who has 3 nephews he used to take care of, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and he has a very interesting voice. But what I would do when I wake up in the morning and find that I am Donald Duck, I would probably be at sea and be in a ship, I guess, right? So I would be very happy to get out of my house in these times and not, I think I'd be really happy to see something else other than the 4 walls of my house. So that will be a great thing. I'd probably dock my ship at a beach or something and holiday for a few days. And after that, I guess, after a little while, sea would be getting boring. So next morning would come and I would be Chitra again and start my morning sync up meeting and everything. So it's all good. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chitra. Okay. Who's going next? Libin?
Hey, hi.
Okay. So, next. What problem would you solve of the world if you found out that in the morning you're Tintin?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And good afternoon, all Toastmasters again and again. But let me confess that I have never seen Tintin comedy. So since I cannot ask for a different thing, I will have to guess from the look and feel of the Tintin, which is has a broadcaster right now. So being the cool guy in a blue shirt with tight collars, definitely I'll be able to solve a lot of world problems because this is a white collar person wearing a blue collar dress or blue dress with a bald head like me. So I stepped out to solve the world problems like Tintin today morning, and that's when I thought of shaving my head and being like Tintin. And definitely I'm wearing a brown pants. So that's how I plan to solve the world problems. To start with, the first problem I'm going to solve is to solve the coronavirus issue which we have. I definitely like to get out like Chitra to a beach and like Donald Duck play around with my nephews, which I'm not able to do right now. So maybe after that, I'll get back to the like Chitra on the next morning. I also get back to Libin again with a bald head and proceed my life as it is today. Thank you, Suhas.
Oh, everybody is a Goa guy. Thanks, Libin.
Did you say bald head and Chitra? Like Chitra?
Okay. Who's going next? Bhargavi?
Sorry, I just realized that he was not bald. He had a hair, but Suhas was keeping it such a way that he was bald.
Okay.
Sure, Suhas. Yeah.
Okay. So you wake up in the morning and you found yourself to be Jerry. Okay. So who is that Tom whom you would run away from, and how would you tackle Tom?
I would would want to run away from quite a lot of people. No?
See, I knew it. That's why I gave you this topic. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. If I woke up as Jerry, assuming things won't change much in my life, like I am kind of tiny as Jerry, and right, and though Jerry likes eating a lot of cheese and it gets into trouble with Tom for stealing that, I kind of like a lot of probably very health-oriented people, health conscious people may not like this, but I like a lot of junk food. And that's something that I like to eat, but kind of my mother-in-law, no, she's very health conscious. So she doesn't let me cook such things a lot, right? And still probably want to hide from her or somehow sneak in and try to order a few things. And given the pandemic, it's like outside food is a no-no in our house, right? So I can't really order food from outside. So probably I would, kind of try to sneak in and, order a few things online, because cooking, all that is kind of a big jamila, right? So that's something that I would want to do. So first Tom is my mother-in-law, right? I hope she's not listening. The next one, okay, the next one is my manager's manager.
Hey, somebody record, this session is recorded, right? Yeah, right. Good. Yeah.
Right. So probably I would want to, kind of try to run away or try to pull his tail or something and try to play around just to annoy him or irritate him, right? So that's something that I would want to do as Jerry. Yeah, if I'm done with 1 minute.
Thank you, Bhargavi. That was good. Okay, who is going next? I have to call out. Are people waiting for me to display the next one and then take a call? Okay, Spurti?
Hey, hi, sir. Yeah.
Okay, then next morning you have a big release at office, but unfortunately you realize that you are now Scooby-Doo. So how would you handle the release, office release?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you, Suhas, for giving me Scooby-Doo, mainly because our initials match, and we both have a ring around our neck, just that mine is called an ID card, which is obvious because we are talking of office work. So the first thing I would do when I wake up and I know I have a release would be Scooby-Doo, and then probably start off working and wondering, why did I get into this at all? Why are we releasing today? Which is when I realize, which is what Scooby-Doo does every time, catching the ghosts. And ghosts, most of the times, are human beings, which I would not mention who or whose name since this session is recorded. Thanks for reminding me in Bhargavi's session. So me, like a very good employee of Radisys, would start working towards the release, tackle it well, and then get a pat by my master, and I would again go Scooby-Dooby-Doo. And I can't see the timer, but I'm anyhow gonna stop now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Spurti. Even after that I realized that the initials match. Yeah, thank you. Okay, do I have time for one last? I take it as a yes. Okay. Guna. Is Guna on the call? Who is G?
Yeah,
Guna.
yeah. Am I audible?
Okay. Yes, you're audible. So Guna, you're going to have a friend's party and a day, and that day morning you realize that you have been turned into Popeye. Popeye the sailor. So how would you react in the party?
Okay. So, okay. Hello all. I'm not much of a cartoon person, so looking at his physique and stuff, I assume he's pretty strong and has got a party to host. Okay. So on basis of that, say since I'm strong and I do love parties, so what I do is I just carry loads of. I'm not sure if this is the right thing to say, and there'll be people who would love to drink and have fun and play games and stuff, and assuming I have some special powers, I'll hire people and I get stuff from everywhere, and yeah, I just host a nice party which everyone will enjoy, and yeah, I think of some special games and stuff. I'm sorry, I really don't know about. I'm not into cartoons so much, so yeah, that's it.
Okay, good try, Guna. Okay, that's all I had for today's table topic session. So hope you guys had a good time. Over to you, Adarsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suhas. I think as we expected, it was a super fun table topic session. And I think we all jog back our memories where we used to watch cartoons, and some of us who still watch the same cartoons, I think we would not admit it. So I think moving on, so we come to the next session where we will have the evaluation of the overall session. So for that, I would like to call upon our general evaluator Spurti onto the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adarsh. I would first like to call upon Toastmaster Libin to present his evaluation report for the speech given by Toastmaster Balaji.
Give me a minute. How much peace do we have? Congratulations, Balaji, for completing your level 1. The VP Education should be very happy now. And you should also be very happy now. To start with, I really appreciate the courage to take the topic as inner peace for your research and present project. Because typically we all go to Google for research and present project, and I again appreciate your audacity to try to search inner peace in Google. Definitely, I understood that you didn't get the answers there. It is a very nice speech to start with. He definitely did his research. I don't know from where, maybe in Google or between the words of the great visionaries' speeches, or definitely in his inner self itself. I felt these are the words of the great visionary Balaji, because the classification of inner peace which he has brought out, we definitely learned about the tug of war person, the quiet guy, sun person, and the charming person. So the topic was a little difficult or very tough topic or a boring topic, but definitely you made it interesting. Like Sudhindra kept reminding us for the second session in a row that we have only 30 seconds to catch someone's attention, and you definitely did that. You had a good start. You had some jokes in the beginning so that people got attended, and then you took a topic which is such complicated and made it simple and presentable enough. You're having examples which is relatable to all of us. The example of the car in the traffic. I had a similar experience, or we all have a similar experience. I'll tell you one. You're sitting in a car and the person behind you, the car behind you is keeping on honking. You feel irritated. You turn back and you see that the car is not honking at you, but he is honking at a person next to you. You feel so happy and you also start honking. The same incident kept you in two different directions. So you made from a tug of war person to a quiet person to a charming person in a split second. So it all relatable topic. I liked it very much. And we definitely had the effects on people. Someone was commenting, I won't tell the name, that he already got liberated by your speech. So I'm so happy that your speeches worked out well. It has had an impact on the people. A few comments from my side is we were a little confused during the speech on the general direction of the speech. First, we were getting used to the fact that there are different kinds of P's and how to get all the P's. And then you made it clear that you're going to speak about how to measure in a piece. But that facts of how to measure in a piece, I didn't get that. Or the general direction was less. And it was a informational speech. We had a lot of information and a lot of ideologies in that. So that was my general comment. Otherwise, it was a very nice speech. I really liked the way you handle the topic, and being known you for last 10 years, I will qualify this as a typical Balaji speech because it's your ideas which came out. That's all. Thank you for giving that speech, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Levin. I would now like to call upon Toastmaster Kshitij to present his report on Sudhindra's speech.
Insanity is trying different things and expecting different results. I'm sorry, insanity is trying same things and expecting different results. And Toastmaster Sudhindra was definitely on the right side of that quote today, because the feedback that he got last time, which was about abrupt ending to his speech, did not apply at all today. He had a great call for action, which was relevant to the entire audience, because in a platform like Toastmasters, everybody's concern is public speaking and evaluations. And he asked everyone to give good evaluations. And it also shows that he knows his audience, and that is one of the most fundamental aspects in public speaking. He also had a really intriguing start, which bound the audience and laid the pathway for the entire speech to be really intriguing and really interactive. He also had a great metaphorical nature to the speech by comparing an empty sheet of the rule book to how we all have our own styles of public speaking. But as everything in life cuts both ways, and so does this. And I do have some recommendations for Toastmaster Sudhindra. I noticed that he was using quite a lot of filler words, especially right when he did not remember what he wanted to say. In this scenario, I would recommend Toastmaster Sudhindra to maybe pause and not say anything, instead of using a filler word maybe three or four times. And I think that would not only greatly increase the impact of the speech, but also increase the confidence that he has. As Toastmaster Chitra said, there are only two types of speakers, nervous and liars. But there are definitely different levels of nervousness, and this will definitely help you reduce that nervousness. Also, your speech was titled Random Forest, but I felt that the relevance to the title could have been increased if you would have mentioned how the algorithm takes in evaluations and how it exactly incorporates that evaluation, and how it is similar to how we can improve ourselves with the evaluation people give. All in all, it was a great dish with a good blend of attention-grabbing statements and a strong message. And it was garnished with the figure of speech and call for action. This was a great speech for level 1, and I recommend you to keep working hard and keep giving speeches. And I believe that you would be one of the best speakers this club has. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij. Before I present my report, I think we can get the tag team's report. Timer Garvit, can we have the timer info report?
Thank you, Toastmasters Smoothie. So the session started pretty much on time at 1:33 p.m. So coming to the prepared speeches, we had Balaji, who spoke for 7 minutes 30 seconds. We have Sudhindra, who spoke for 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Then coming over to table topics, we started off with Chitra, who spoke for 1 minute and 22 seconds. Then Libin spoke for about 1 minute and 25 seconds. Bhargavi spoke for 2 minutes. Spurti took 1 minute 24 seconds, and lastly, Guna took about 55 seconds. Then moving on to the evaluation segment, we have Libin who took 3 minutes and 28 seconds, and Kshitij who took 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Garvit. Toastmaster Mastan, can you now please give the R counter report?
Thank you, Spurti. When come to the Toastmaster Adarsh, he has used 11 times or ums, and he has used so couple of times as a repeats and filler words. So, and if you come to Spurti, I did not see any filler words or ums. And when it comes to prepared speeches, Balaji, there is no filler words or no or ums, nothing. I did not see, I did not notice anything. And Sudhindra, prepared speech to Sudhindra, only one I have seen at the end, that too at the end of the speech. I was waiting, I was seriously waiting for to catch at least 1 hour. And the right, even evaluator, Kshitij also is telling, right, we have used multiple times. Like you are asking like kind of question, but still we have observed multiple times, right? And Toastmaster, table topic master Shuhas, 4 times or ums. And Chitra, table topics, Chitra, 2 times and so you have used as a filler word 1 time. Libin, 2 times as a table topic participant, 2 times and then Bhargavi, 6 times she has used. And Spurti, there is no filler words or nothing. And table topic Guna, she has used 2 times ums. And then evaluator Libin, 9 times are there. And Kshitij, he has used 6 times ums, and I can notice and you are using multiple times as a filler word. And that's all from my side. Thank you, Spurti.
Thanks for the elaborate report, Toastmaster Mastan. Toastmaster Megha, can you now please give the grammarian report?
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. So I'll start with Toastmaster of the day, Adarsh. Really beautiful use of words in the speech today. So some of the good words were consciousness, evolve, emergence, emulate, propagate. Very positive words in this difficult and depressing COVID times. And good speech. Good phrase was ability to adapt. I think all of us are adapting to different situations on a daily basis. So that was good. Next, prepared speech by Balaji. Some of the good words were congested, reiterate, and new phrase, outer piece. I knew only about inner piece, so this was again something new. Some corrections, well and good are repetitive. You could have just used either well or good. And shouting to could have been used as shouting at. So this is a correction. Next, Sudhindra's prepared speech. Again, a lot of good phrases here. So school of thought, fall short, best of your capabilities. I would say best of your abilities would be a better phrase. And some good words were pledge, profound, captivating, onus. One correction is there was repetitive use of rule book. As and when you were referring to rule book, when you are moving to the next topic, you kept on referring, okay, what does the rule book says? So that made speech a bit repetitive, but yeah, otherwise it was good. And you were the only one who used word of the day, apprehend. So kudos to you. Moving on to Suhas. So Suhas used a good word, enlighten. Next, Chitra, fascinate and docking was a good use of English. Libin again used a really good words, appreciate, audacity, tug of war, and liberated. That was a good use. Bhargavi, she lived up to the character she got. Jerry, getting into trouble and sneak in was a good use. Kshitij, abrupt, intriguing, and metaphorical was really good use. Good words. Thank you. Over to you, Spooty.
Thank you. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Megha. So we'll quickly go through my report since I'm already falling short of time. To start off with, I think we started just 3 minutes late today, which is okay. And I would personally like to congratulate our SAA Gaurav. I think right from past 2 weeks, he kept asking for role players and he did a great job and we've had a wonderful session today. And I think all credits must go to Gaurav for that. And let's all give him a round of applause before I proceed. Next, as usual, President Chitra comes up with a great speech all the time. Though she claims she was unprepared, she was awesome anyway, and her quotes are always amazing. The Toastmaster of the day, like Toastmaster Chitra said, he was informed. He knew that he's going to be the Toastmaster of the day for a very few hours from now. But then again, congratulations for being not prepared yet having something prepared. Quoting you back. There was so much information that you provided, Adarsh, and yes, for me the most important one was the DOB of Karl Popper, which I'm never going to forget. And I like the personalized touch you gave in introducing every speaker. So kudos to you on that. Moving on, the first speaker, Balaji, I think Toastmaster Libin covered most of the things that I wanted to convey myself. It's just that we all thought you would tell us how to attain inner peace. And then I think you were halfway down your speech and you said you're going to tell us how to measure it. And in the end, we still didn't know how to measure it, except that we knew that outer peace is better than inner peace. So probably you could work a little more on that. And I appreciate the references you gave to all spiritual gurus, including Master Shifu, who is also my favorite guru. And I think there were a few grammatical errors, and I think you can work on that. Most of them were pointed out by Toastmaster Megha. The next speaker, Sudhindra, I always appreciate it personally when speakers stand up, and I think in all your speeches you have done that. So more than congratulations, I would say thank you. And then yeah, I think the best way to be in any company is to appreciate the people in it. So you appreciated Nitesh. And when you said insanity, I don't know, it could be because of my internet connectivity. I actually heard sanity and I started thinking of you, Yatach. And apologies already for my poor tech joke. And coming to Random Forest, yes, like Toastmaster Kshitij pointed out, I think that could have been a little more elaborated. Probably you could have at least cracked a joke or something on that. And, you know, the concept would have been a little more clear. And just when I was thinking you're using a very smart hack to use a book, and you showed that the book is pretty empty as well. So great job on that too. Nextly, with the evaluators, Evaluator Libin, as always, you were very appreciative of the work that the speaker came up with, and also you gave good feedback, which I think everybody would agree with. And generally, we use the term audacity in negative terms. Perhaps the first time when I have heard somebody appreciating audacity. So that's something new I have learned from you today. And Toastmaster Kshitij, once again, I think your observations were very keen and it showed that you were listening to Sudhindra's speech. So congratulations on that. Just one feedback I would like to give you is that probably you got Sudhindra's pronunciation wrong and ate up the R in the end in his name. And moving on to Table Topic Master Suhas, not only was your concept very entertaining, I think you kept us laughing throughout with the chat column as well. So thanks to you for that. And like Toastmaster Adarsh said, thank you for reminding us all with all our favorite cartoon characters. So with these speakers, Toastmaster Chitra, I'm already giving you full points for bringing friends reference. And I think it was obvious that you always watched Donald Duck, and great speech. Toastmaster Libin, I think more than how you wanted to solve a case, you were more keen on looking like Tintin, which you did, just that you missed the hair. So anyway, good speech again. And Bhargavi, I think no matter what you do, the truth always comes out. And you mentioned running away from your mother-in-law and your manager. So I don't think I would like to comment anything further on that at all. I was the next speaker and I really have no feedback on myself. And Guna, to you, I would give a -1 for not knowing about Popeye. Eat some spinach and go try to catch some episodes of Popeye the Sailor Man. And I think with that, I have covered everybody. So back to you, Toastmaster Adarsh. Thank you.
Thank you, Spurti, for such a detailed report on the overall session. So before we conclude, I just wanted to mention what he says at the end of his speech. So, but I never talked about what is the mind-body problem. So I actually shared one picture with Gaurav, and it had a man whose brain was all red and he was like this. So that is not mind-body problem, but basically it's about if you have a physical body and then you have something like a mental state, if you have a soul or a mind or whatever you want to call it, if that exists, and if it exists, what's the relationship between the mind and the body, and so on. And there are a lot of theories on this concept. If you see that everybody has so many different ideas and theories about this. So Karl Popper, what he did was, he was a Darwinian, of course, and he just took the idea of natural selection and he tried to apply that to understand how this may have happened, how we may have come about and gain consciousness and so on. But what he underlines at the end of his speech is the importance of these theories, that all these different simulations that we can actually run in our mind, all these theories, scientific theories, the argument via logic and language. Now that is what I would say is actually going to help us, because this is the way that we can actually kill our ideas instead of killing each other. So this is the way that one can actually not have to take any kind of a violent path or any kind of drastic measure, because this is what separates us from everybody else or all other species. So this is how he concludes the speech, saying, you know, it is better that we actually kill our ideas than we kill each other. So that was his speech, really, not mine. So I will end my speech here. So I think now we can move on to the last segment, which is the voting. I believe Gaurav has shared, I think he was just waiting to click on voting. So I think we have it here. So I would request you all to vote for the different roles today. So yeah, probably I'll give a couple of minutes for voting. So I have finished voting, so I will take this chance, and what I'm going to say next is going to sound more prepared than what you've heard so far. So as VP of membership, firstly, I'm happy to see so many new faces here. So that's, I think it's really a pleasure to see so many new people and people who've joined after a long time. I think, Guna, I think we are in need of new cartoons so that these oldies actually get to know what's actually the current trend. So I would encourage both. I think at the same time, there are probably people who have not yet participated much, and we encourage everybody to bring their ideas. So thanks everyone for joining. So besides this, I think we shared an email saying, guys, please update your Jira. No, please update your pathways. So this will help us to get more points for our club, and that helps us to become a more distinguished club. I believe that's the terminology. So I would request you all, both everyone who's here, to kind of go to the online portal and fill up the project's progress so far. So that will also give you the idea about the next speech that you need to take up. And if you see, actually, I've been looking at it a bit these days now, and I see that there's quite amount of material that is there that will help you to kind of craft your speech. And if anybody is facing any issues accessing that or completion, I think you can get in touch with me or anyone on the committee. So getting that out of the way, are there any guests who would like to comment? Guests or even Toastmasters have come after a long time. If there's anything that you guys want to share with the overall group, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would just like to. Am I audible? First. Hello?
Yeah, Guna, we can hear you.
Yeah. So, hi all. I've just joined after a long time today, and it was really nice. I enjoyed it, and it was relaxing. Apart out of the way from our work. So, thank you all for. Even after joining a long time, I just felt really nice, and sorry for not knowing about the cartoons. Okay, I'll make sure I'll work on that. So yeah, thank you.
We can ask Suhas to assign a task for you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Thank you, Guna, for your feedback. Gaurav, let us know once the votes are in, and probably then we can have Chitra present the awards.
Yeah, we have received 13 responses. I can see 15 participants are there. So I think we.
Sorry, I didn't get any voting link. How do I vote?
That voting link is in our chat.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in the chat.
Oh, I'll share it with you over WhatsApp.
Sure.
Okay, Kshitij, so while you are making up your mind, Kshitij, is there anything that you would like to share with our group? If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time you're coming around to our club?
Yeah, that's right. And thank you so much for having me. I thought that all the roles were really well taken. And I think both the speeches were really, thought-provoking and not just, given for the sake of speeches or for the sake of cheap laughs. So I thought that all was really well taken, and your role as TMOD was, I think, also really good, especially given that you had no time. I would definitely want to keep coming for more meetings, and I also, encourage, pitch my club and ask every one of you to join our meeting. It happens every Friday. It's at 12 tomorrow, so I'll be happy to have each one of you there. But excellent meeting. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Kshitij. Look forward to see you in our club more often, and we'll probably reciprocate as well. So, thank you. So, Gaurav.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Kshitij to complete the voting. Once he completes it, I will.
Yeah, I actually did some.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll now call upon our President Toastmaster Chitra to take the stage and give away the awards.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adarsh. So while Gaurav tabulates the results and shares the certificates, I just wanted to make a couple of more announcements. So Toastmaster Avinash, who is our VP Ed, had shared the shared the information regarding nominations for the club contest that we have coming up. So basically, usually, if you remember, the club contests and the area contests happen towards the end of the term, right? But this year they have divided it into two parts, where we have the evaluation and the humorous speech contest in the beginning of the year. So by end of September, we are supposed to have finished our club contest, and October first week would be the area contest, and moving on to the district contest. And the the prepared speeches and table topics would happen as usual in the next half of the year. So Avinash had circulated the email for nominating yourselves for these contests. So please nominate yourselves before we start hounding you for nominations. Okay. So that was one thing that I wanted to announce. And the second, like Adarsh had mentioned, the membership renewals would email would be sent to you soon. And please, again, we would encourage all of you to retain a membership, and those who are not members, vote for becoming members. So we would be circulating these mails worldwide almost. So encourage all of you to join the club, and I hope you see value in it. Garvit, are the results out?
Chitra, I have shared you in Teams.
Oh, got it. Sorry. Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks, Toastmaster Gaurav. So I will quickly announce the results. I'll share my screen. Okay, so first up, the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Sudhindra. The best evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Libin. Best role player goes to Toastmaster Adarsh. And the best table topic goes to Toastmaster Bhargavi. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations to the winner and the participants. I think this was a great session. It was so nice to see all of you. And like Toastmaster Kshitij mentioned, pretty much every session we have somebody from other clubs joining us, be it for speeches or taking any roles or evaluations. So it would be great if we also participate in other club meetings. So Toastmaster Bhargavi pretty much shares all the calendars and the posters that we receive on our district level and area level groups, right? So please try to join some of these meetings. It would also help us in seeing what other clubs are doing great, and we can incorporate in our meetings. Hi, Sudhindra. Okay. Okay, with that, I'd like to close the meeting for today. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Hey, what's his name, Sudhindra?
Sumedh.
Huh?
Sumedh.
Oh, hi.